Hello there. Today we're going to talk about Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California. We'll go over everything from its history to the latest news. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm your host, and I review theme parks all around the world for fun and educational purposes. Now, let's get to it. Disneyland was the very first Disney theme park opening on July 17, 1955. It was built by Walt Disney himself and his engineers and Imagineers, who were inspired by his love of trains and his trips to amusement parks with his daughters. Unlike the other Disney parks around the world, Disneyland is not based off any of his animated films. Instead, it was based off his real-life passions. The park sits on 100 acres of land in Anaheim, California, which is just southeast of Los Angeles International Airport. Its original cost was around $80 million, which today would be around $198 million. During construction, it was known as the Mickey Mouse Park or the Disneyland Project. On May 22, 1955, the name was officially changed to Disneyland. In 2019, the park saw 18.64 million visitors, making it the third most visited amusement park in the world, behind Magic Kingdom and the most visited theme park in the United States. Since the park opened, several expansions have been completed. In 1960, New Orleans Square opened, featuring Pirates of the Caribbean, which to this day is one of the most popular attractions in the park. In 1966, an 8-hole golf course was added to the park, which closed in 2001 to make way for Disney's California Adventure, which opened in 2001 next door to Disneyland. Then, in 2004, Disney California Adventure was reimagined to include Cars, Inc., and Pixar Pit. And then finally, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened in 2019. The entire resort has undergone massive renovations since the early 2000s, which has brought new restaurants, hotels, and shopping to the area. The main entrance to Disneyland is called the Mickey Mouse Building, even though it does resemble Sleeping Beauty's castle. The reason it looks like that is because Sleeping Beauty Castle wasn't built until the following year. When you enter the park through the main gates, you pass through the Esplanade, which is a hub to the two different theme parks. The hub connects Downtown Disney, Disney California Adventure, and Disneyland. All the major thoroughfares in the park are named after Disney characters. Main Street, USA is modeled after Walt's hometown of Marceline, Missouri. Many buildings and street names are taken from actual places in Marceline. The architecture is mainly from the Queen Anne style of the 1890s. There are 5 different lands in Disneyland, the first being Adventureland, which features the famous Indiana Jones adventure. Next is New Orleans Square, where you can find Pirates of the Caribbean. Then comes Critter Country, home to Splash Mountain. Next is Frontierland, which contains Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Finally, we have Fantasyland, which houses Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. There are also 2 more areas in the park, Tomorrowland and Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, which is part of Tomorrowland. Throughout the years, Disneyland has had some pretty wild rides. Many of these attractions are now closed and no longer exist. The first attraction to close was the Golden Horseshoe, a country western-style dinner theater, which opened on July 17, 1955 and closed on January 4, 1981. Next was the Disneyland Railroad, which ran on an oval track around the outside of the park. It had 2 versions, the original running from 1955 to 1960, and then the second version, which ran from 1960 to 1993. Also closing in 1960 was the Skyway, which was a gondola ride that went over the park and through the monorail. In 1964, the People Mover opened and closed in 1995. In 1966, the Finding Fantasyland Theater opened, showing the film of the same name, which closed in 1998. Then the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, a 19-minute audio animatronic boat ride, opened in 1969 and closed in 1974. Next was the Holiday on Ice Revue, which opened in 1970 and closed in 1972. Then the Laurel and Hardy, a musical vaudeville-style stage show, opened in 1972 and closed in 1976. The Enchanted Tiki Room opened in 1963, and its latest version opened in 1998. This means it is still open today. The same goes for Pirates of the Caribbean, which opened in 1967, Then, in 1983, the Star Tours opened and closed in 1997 to make way for the Indiana Jones adventure. The Mickey and UBI Works cartoon in Fantasyland opened in 1984 and closed in 1995. The Voyage opened in 1968 and closed in 1998. Then the America Sings closed in 1989 to make way for the Superstar Limo. Next was Snow White's Adventures, an interactive dark ride which opened in 1987 and closed in 2001. Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters opened in 1995 and closed in 2002. Then the Superstar Limo closed in 2004, and the Orange Stinger roller coaster opened in 1998 and closed in 2008. Now let's go over some of the most iconic attractions in Disneyland. The Matterhorn is the first roller coaster that you see when you walk into Fantasyland. At 20 feet tall, it is one of the tallest and fastest rides in the park, reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. It also features a lift hill and drop, which takes riders to the top of the mountain before plunging down the other side. Pirates of the Caribbean is a slow-moving boat ride through scenes depicting parts of the classic movie. Scenes include the infamous auction scene as well as the battle between Captain Jack Sparrow and the Kraken. This ride is known for having some of the best theming in the entire park. Space Mountain is an indoor roller coaster taking passengers through the wonders of outer space. The ride begins with a queue that takes guests through Mission Control. Before boarding one of their many rocket ships, once inside, they will experience near weightlessness and travel at speeds of up to 27.5 miles per hour through stars and planets. Indiana Jones Adventure is a dark ride where guests board vehicles similar to Jeep and Land Rovers and are taken through various sets depicting scenes from the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. You'll race away from boulders and escape certain traps while riding this exciting, fast-paced attraction. Haunted Mansion is a slow-moving dark ride where guests will board a doom buggy and take a tour of a haunted house. Throughout the ride, you'll come across many ghosts, ghouls, and other supernatural creatures. The ride is considered to be one of the best in the park thanks to its amazing theming and audio effects. Peter Pan-esque Flight is a slow-moving, suspended dark ride where guests will soar over London rooftops and through Neverland. ULL fly past many famous locations from the movie, such as the Darling S House and Captain Hook S Ship. The ride is known for its incredible special effects and detailed sets. When it comes to dining, Disneyland has something for everyone. There are plenty of quick service options as well as full-service restaurants. Some of the most popular restaurants include Blue Bayou, Café Orleans, Carthay Circle Restaurant, and Plaza Inn. For snacks, you can grab a Dole Whip at the Tiki Juice Bar or a churro at any of the churro carts throughout the park. If you're looking for a place to stay, there are 3 different hotels within walking distance of the park: Disneyland Hotel, Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, and Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa. There is also a 4th hotel, the Disneyland Resort Hotel, which is located across the street from the park. Over the years, Disneyland has been the testing ground for new technologies and entertainment. The first ever audio animatronic figure appeared here in the 1960-465 New York World's Fair, then later ended up in the Hall of Presidents at Magic Kingdom. Disneyland was the very first Disney park to receive nighttime spectacular shows with the debut of the Disneyland 15th Anniversary Celebration. Disneyland Forever Fireworks Show premiered on July 2015 and is still performed every night. Other technologies that debuted at Disneyland include the Circle Vision, 360 filming at a Small World, and the OmniMax Theater in the former Pacific Visions building, which is now the home of Marvel HQ. Currently, Disneyland is going through some big changes. The classic attraction, The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure, is currently being reimagined to become The Little Mermaid, the Biggie first being the facade and queue, which has already been completed. Then finally the ride itself, which is expected to be completed by That sums up our video on Disneyland Park. I hope you enjoyed. If so, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching. See ya!